ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North Sports Dynasty's show of the Buc Show. I am your host, Andrew Fulbert, and we are a little bit early today, just because obviously there's some things that need to be said and all that kind of fun stuff. So I figured I would be all nice and happy at the beginning here and give you the nice proper intro that Buc Show actually deserves. So I'm your host, Andrew Fulbert. This is the Buc Show, and if you love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just as much as I do, remember to like and share and follow and subscribe to North Sports Dynasty platform so you can get the notification whenever this show goes live or any of the other shows that we got going live go live for you. This is a show dedicated to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We do many other platforms here across North Sports Dynasty, so every single like and share and follow and subscription that you do for us helps build this platform, and we got things to give away for you at the end of the year for your likes and all that kind of stuff. One being a Mike Allstat mini helmet, signed just like right there. You see that right there? Yep, just like that. Got a Mike Allstat card. We got some jerseys. We got some rookie cards. We got a bunch of stuff to give away to you today. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for today's show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Buc Show here on Sunday night. Since we got nothing else to talk about, have yourself a great one. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, so in about I'm gonna let this intro go, I guess, here, since if you got any speaker problems, or if you really got anybody who just really wants to like just let it out kind of thing, you got about 30 seconds, and then we can all talk about it together. Okay, welcome to North Sports Dynasty. This is the Buc Show, and let's get right into it. I just built this whole brand new. What is this? It seems every weekend I need to get louder about how dumb it is to be sitting on my fucking high horse as a Buccaneer fan here. Thinking they're gonna break records this year. Look at our fucking roster. Look at our roster. Look at it. Look at it. What kind of play calling is that? Look at the fucking commentators are even talking about. Oh, the guy's jogging up on the field. Oh, they look like they really want to go play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. Oh man, look at they look like really all jacked up. You know what I wish I was jacked up on? Millions of dollars guaranteed to me and pushed down the fucking line for 4 years. Because we were chasing a title. Because we decided to do what the New York Giants decided to do 8 years ago. What the San Francisco 49ers decided to do in the late 90s. What a lot of other teams have decided to do. And actually, guess what? Guess what they do? They win. Like we did. We did that 2 years ago. What is this? What is this? What monstrosity did you create? Is this what we wanted, Buc fans? Is this what we wanted? Low draft picks again? I'm tired of low draft picks. I fucking built North Sports Dynasty. Look at this. I built North Sports Dynasty on mock drafts because all I've been doing my entire life as a Bucs fan has been doing mock drafts about what player is going to be available to us at number 3, at number 7, number 19. Let's take a tight end when we have so many other issues. Like, you get that? Don't understand. 21-3 against the Panthers. So you know what I got? You know what I got? I got people sliding into my DMs. Okay, Mr. Faubert, I just want to do the now. Your team sucks. And that is all. And you want to know what rhymes with sucks? The Bucs. That is all. Find new content! I've heard that joke since I was in grade 5 when Robert Ewing was doing it. Shout out to Robert Ewing. Your Broncos suck too. What is this? Leonard Fournette is being paid top what? Top what? What? How much money is guaranteed to Leonard Fournette for the next 2 years? For half-ass performances. We got an offensive line that I dedicated the show about talking about how good that offensive line was. I'm having a drink. I wouldn't even call it a drink. It's Coors Light. No free ads. We got so much money pushed away for 4 years that by the time we actually get a young quarterback who's going to be a Buccaneer for life, like Josh Allen is for the Bills and Patrick Mahomes is for the Chiefs, and then when you've won me 5 or 6 titles, you can go fuck off to Jacksonville or something. What in God's name on all heaven and earth? I've been through Buc games. Buc fans, we've been through Buc games. I fell asleep. What kind of play calling was that? What kind of lackluster performance, multi-million-dollar investment was that? Don't bring the creamsicle fucking jerseys back if this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. That's the problem. I am so mad because everybody dealt with COVID and they didn't want none of my bullshit when I won a championship. Now all of a sudden, because I'm fucking altering, everybody from fucking Timbuktu, from Seahawks fans, fucking Lion fans. No, Alex is cool. Don't worry, it's not him. Falcon fans, you all know who. Fucking Steeler fans. Cowboy fans, what? Viking fans, what? I smell you too, Colt fans, what? All of you. This is not fun anymore to be a Buc fan like this. And there's a lot of people who are actually sitting out there saying, let's hold out and let's wait and see what happens. If you would have told me, and I listen, I understand it's within division, I get it. But if you would have told me Christian McCaffrey is available for a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth, I would have given you fucking 3/3. 2 seconds. Sure. Would have done something. With some of this stuff, like, there's offensive help that's out there. Before I even get any further, let me shout out some of the people who are out here. Kate Alverson's first, obviously. Shout out to you. Amazing. She says, I am seriously depressed. Like, what is happening to our team and Brady and the coaching? Why? The crew roundtable, thank you for tuning in. Also, thank you for the invite, buddies. I honestly, if I wasn't working so fucking late and had so much to do and so little time, I would totally hop on you there. I'm trying. And they say 2 words, terrible coaching. I 1,000% agree. Well, I just watched the highlights. What highlight? There's none, Nicole. Don't make it worse being the Saint fan in here being like, oh, the Buc fan. I know, I love you, don't worry. But like, still. brutal performance by Fred Swayze Moore. Thank you for tuning in. Is this the Peyton Manning wall? What do you Steeler fans? We lost to Carolina. We literally lost to the Panthers. To an XFL quarterback. I should be happy about that. Absolutely atrocious. I have no idea what happened in this whole situation. I to be honest with you, it was horrible. Christopher Cole offense is just awful. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Can we get a refund from returning a player? Aaron St. Joseph, and thank you for tuning in, is laughing at me here. Brady's collapse without Gronk is serious. This is why I still think Gronk is coming back for Germany. That's not just saying. It makes sense. But let's really talk about this here for a second. This performance is going to start making me really consider taking all the picks that we have for the next 2 years in the offseason, our first and our second and our third round picks, and you trade up as far as you can up in the draft, and you try to get Will Levis or one of those for sure project quarterbacks that we can actually keep in the system and we can deal with. I don't care if we run Kyle Trask for 2 years. I don't care if we run Blaine Gabbert for 2 years. I don't care if we go into the offseason at this point and get some scrub from the XFL. I don't care if we sign Brady. Maybe not sign Brady. But my point is this. I think it is starting to show as fans that in about 2 or 3 years, there is probably going to be a shift in some sort of ownership, or not ownership, but like coaching, GM, something. I do not see Todd Bowles staying in here for never seen. I do not see Todd Bowles keeping this job forever. The fact that he has had to come out and state that this is his team, that's already a problem in my opinion. The fact that it seems more defensive than anything. It seems that he has to go on there and defend himself and all the actions that he's done as a head coach. I said this on the NFC South show on Let's Talk Football on Tuesdays. And if you guys want to hear about the different perspective of all the teams that are going around there, and Kyle and Nicole and Sean all make fun of me probably on Tuesday because my team sucks. As I see her lovely fiance is in there, I guess O-lines don't take 2 negative reinforcements too well. Thank you for tuning in, Mark. Much appreciated. I said there that when Arians was on our team, and a lot of people are calling for Arians right now. When Arians was our head coach, it didn't matter if you were Tom Brady, Devin White, Vita Vea, Levante David, any of the wide receivers, Mike Evans. He's going to tear you the hell apart if you weren't doing your job. Todd Bowles seems to be obviously a little bit more laid back. And I don't think it's working. Arians kept it going all season, all the way up until the Super Bowl. Even when we hosted the Rams and we lost, Arians basically, if it wasn't for that one play, we had that game. We did. Everyone knows that we were coming back. We had that game if it wasn't for the blitz package that Todd Bowles basically did at the end of the game. They wouldn't have kicked that field goal. It wouldn't have mattered. We would have won that game. But Arians was the hoorah coach that made you feel like you were doing your job better. That every single dollar that you were about to get in the offseason or from your incentives for the current season package contract that you had was going to be earned. Not given anymore, like it seems like it is right now, but earned. You earned the right to be paid millions of dollars. You earned the right to get your incentives. You earned the right as a squad at the end of the year where we can play around against a team that is literally trying to beat us as their own Super Bowl, and we're playing for incentives. We're not playing for anything else. We're playing for incentives. Do you know how awesome that feels to be doing that as players? You imagine right now, all the people watching this right now, you played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You actually had a chance to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And all of a sudden, you get an opportunity, my apologies, to get incentives at the end of the year. You're the 7th string wide receiver. You're a practice squad guy that got called up. And you got told that the more that you go out there, if you can go out and play 33% of this game, you will get a $150,000 bonus, whatever. Let's just call it like that. You don't think that if you are a defensive player and you've already racked up a playoff team or a playoff entry, and you're hosting a home game already, and the squad's being all G and everybody's all happy, you don't think everybody's looking out for you getting your money? Like, bro, man, play like 5 snaps and then I'll be out. Damn rights. Everybody's looking out for each other. This squad does not look like it's looking out for shit. They limped into Carolina. And I really hate to be that guy. A lot of this has seemed like there's a bit of a divide between the team because of like some friendships going on. Where some people are a little bit more dedicated to the team aspect and about winning a championship and knowing that this is a job. And other people are just here to have fun and get paid. And they're still living off of the championship mentality that they do have. This is not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of 2 years ago or even last year. Something happened. And I can erase all this right now because I am having a bad day betting, okay? I've already, listen, I made up all my money yesterday bidding on Islam Machekov in that fight, okay? I made a lot of money off of that, but I lost a lot of money in parlays, a lot of money off this. I broke even because of that one damn fight where I put a lot of money on. All right. Let me just say that. But I could erase all this right now. And we can gut and put everything that has changed in the offseason. The one thing that seems to be the number one thing that everybody has been saying is Todd Bowles. He's not it. He's won a championship. He's a hell of a great defensive coordinator, and he has deserved an opportunity to be a head coach. Yes, I agree with that. But until he either gets his quarterback in a draft that he can help develop with Byron Leftwich, because I don't think Byron Leftwich is now getting an opportunity to be his own head coach somewhere. This is starting to look a little bit disastrous. And the reason why I say disastrous is because of this. There is no plan B. Bruce Arians got his championship, and he left the head coaching job to his friend. To a guy who has earned it, like I said. I'm not saying that Todd Bowles has not earned it, being the defensive coordinator that he is. But I do not think that this is maybe the way that it should have gone out in the offseason at all. I know that Bruce Arians is too old to be coaching. I know that Bruce Arians has got health issues. There's a reason why he retired. There's a reason why he considered the Cleveland Brown job at one point and then pulled away from it. I understand that. But there is some major issues with the fact that when there is, penalties being had, targets being at some of our players, Brady going down, there's no emotion from our head coach. And these comments in there, and I ain't going to speak on anything because I am literally like glowing white right now. But those comments that he made about, what he has done for other Aboriginal kids and stuff like that is obviously not sit with a certain community. And everybody's calling for his head And I'm not like literally calling for his head, but what I'm saying is man, if there was a way, and I've said this before and I get laughed at all the time for it, because if you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. Yes, but if both your quarterbacks are developing and eventually and if you're one of those guys out there, with some of these quarterbacks, they're either going to be really, really good or they're not going to be really, really good, or they got a skill set that they can utilize in one type of system but not in another. Yeah, maybe two quarterbacks is better than one quarterback. And maybe in this case, it is better to have Bowles as a defensive coordinator and Byron as the offensive coordinator. But you're not going to be able to have Bruce Arians back. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You're not going to be able to have that. You don't de-promote like that. There's no reason to. But at the same time, he cannot be the one that is the head coach and calling some of these plays or personnel decisions going forward. We have so much money dedicated to the Tampa Bay Buccaneer roster and some of the people who are not even on this roster anymore for the next 4 years. Tom Brady can literally walk out right now away from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the offseason and go join another team, and he would get paid out the ass, and he would have probably a fun 2 years. And I can guarantee you that in the first year, he would probably take that team to the Final Four. But I don't think it's going to work here in Tampa. And I saw the comment here, and I'll get to a couple of those here. I wanted to get to Ravens game Thursday. At least we get to move forward and not dwell on it and dwell on Thursday's loss. I agree. Never say Kyle Trask again. If Bowles doesn't right the ship this year, it's his last year in the NFL as a head coach. I don't like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing like a 1 year and out kind of thing. But I mean, Bowles is a great defensive mind. However, he is not an enforcer of accountability. I agree. Christopher Cole says it's not Brady, it's the whole team. That I also agree with. Free agent signings that have made impacts this season. I mean, hey, Julio Jones has done pretty okay for one game, has he not? They aren't playing like a real team. And Shaq Mason, though, actually, I guess that was a trade, so I guess I'll give you that. They look at the D-line. Let's look at the D-line as well. Where's the run stuffing front? Wonder if Sue is out there still. Wait, he is. Let's hit it on our thumbs. Sometimes listen, a lot of these players too, like Marpet, a lot of these guys either want I'm not saying Marpet wanted a lot of money. Marpet wanted to just, do what like Andrew Luck did. Be in the league for a little bit, get your legacy, get your championship, leave it intact. Kind of like what Brady should have done after the first year, in my opinion. But, this is going to sound weird, and I've said this like as a joke before, but like it is really, really, really starting to look like Brady might actually stay on this team and might just like keep trying to do the hoorah thing. And then he might come back next year, and Bulls might come back next year, and it might be the same type of result where it ends up being a 9-8 team or 10-7. And when I go to Detroit 2024, it'd be kind of fun to see a new head coach going for a new quarterback. I'm just saying. But alas, that's not what I really want to see. This is what we've preached here at the Buc Show, what I've preached here at NSD since when Brady first got here. Is there's one thing I've wanted from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the beginning, from the very start of this whole investment with Tom Brady, is the winning culture that came with him, that still is around him, that he had around with the New England Patriots. It's too much. It's too much to want, or it's too much to give up when he leaves, in my opinion, as a Buccaneer fan. As we all know, it's every 18 years that we get like a little, a 5-year glimpse at what it's like to be really, really good. And then we falter off for about 18 years. And I don't want to be, in my 40s, almost pushing my 50s, and my kid's about to leave my house before I start seeing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start doing good again. I don't. I'd like to see them with a better stadium, a winning culture that they're supposed to be having right now, not just for the last 2 years, but to continuous this year and after. That's the kind of stuff that helps you build new stadiums. And I understand, listen, there's a lot of people in Tampa who follow this show who follow the Rays and stuff like that. Are like, don't even talk to us about stadiums. They'll never build new stadiums or anything like that. Amelia Arena has been there for a little bit now and needs, I think, and it gets some renovations here and there, but they're never going to rebuild a stadium. They're like, nope, here's our stadium, suck it up, enjoy. And I get it. Can't fault them for that too much. But, you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Raymond James Stadium, that's a stadium that needs to be, you know, either demolished and rebuilt or, you know, just put away for a little bit and build the stadium in a brand new location and use it for college games and, you know, some SEC titles and all that kind of fun stuff. But winning is what helps build things like that. It's just like here in Edmonton, you know, a little hockey for just a quick minute. When the Oilers drafted Connor McDavid, and he's supposed to be just the next Wayne Gretzky. And Wayne Gretzky is a big name out here, obviously. That was enough for them and really kind of the city, even though a lot of people would be like, no, it wasn't. We didn't agree to it. But that was the push for them to build a brand new stadium. And it looks like a hockey stick. It's kind of cool. We talk about it on Tuesdays. Check it out. 1252 Chicago Sports. Off the puck. I always get the show name wrong. I'm sorry about that. So, but our hockey show that we got there at 1252 Sports, there's, you know, the winning that comes with it, the culture that comes with it, is in Tampa and stuff like that. When you win, there's a lot of people who enjoy it. I am a diehard fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here in Canada because of the O2 Buccaneers. I have loved the Tampa Bay Buccaneers since then. And I will continue to love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers until the day I die. I have even said that if for some odd reason Canada were to get a team, I cheer for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they got titles, but I'm going to be cheering even harder for that Toronto team. And if it ever became Tampa versus that Toronto team, because I know it's going to be Toronto or just the Canada team. But if it was Tampa versus that Canada team, I'm rooting for Tampa. It'd be like, fuck Canada's team at that point because I'm always going to be a Go Bucs guy. But, man, I will always love that Canadian team too because it'll be mine. Just like everybody who's born in Tampa Bay would know the same thing I'm talking about. But this is hard, man. The reason why I say that, like, you look at the teams that we have in the NFC South here, the Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons. The Saints have always been a pain in our ass. Like, always been a pain in our ass. There's nothing worse on this planet that I hate than Saint fans, except for Nicole, of course. She's my co-host, and I appreciate her existence. She's a nice person. She's a pretty decent, like, sports analyst, so I'll give her that. But I hate Saint fans. And that Saints team is built for a long time. They get one quarterback. That's a very large L, yeah. They get a quarterback on that Saints team. And man, oh man, they go back to being relevant again. Look at the damn Atlanta team. I have told Kyle that if there's one team I have looked at for a long time, because they've been good for a long time, it was the Atlanta Falcons. And they finally got to fall out of grace for a little bit here. But if you look at some of the pieces that they have on that team, Kyle Pitts is a great tight end. They got one really, really good wide receiver in Drake London. They got another one who's suspended who will be coming back next year. They got a decent draft picks from what it looks like. Like, I still think they're going to be – like, I know that they had a bad day against the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen, Joe Burrow has just been waiting for a team kind of like the Atlanta Falcons. I see Kyle's actually joined. But, you know, listen, no disrespect to the Falcons there. Like, he was waiting for something like that where they just have certain holes in certain places where he likes it, where he can fit it. Clip that if you want. My thing is the Falcons are up and coming within the next 2 years. Like, they'll be division winners because they have the ability to do it. The first and second round draft picks that they have this year, they can literally use just like they have in the last couple of years, not on rotational players or players that you would think of like edge players or, linebackers and corners that everybody thinks of and stuff like that. But if they go after the wide receivers, they go after Bijan Robinson, like I said, or they get the Jahmyr Gibbs, the next, Derrick Henry out of Alabama. They get some of those guys or something like that. They're a scary team for the next couple of years, but that offense is for sure. They put Desmond Ridder in there. Hell, let some other quarterback come in here. Then that becomes a pain in the ass. Look at Carolina. They just kicked our ass 21-3. They have a brand new head coach who is literally a step in for them because he's not going to be there all year. And they're probably a little mad that they got a win today, like organizationally above them who are sitting in their office. They're like, ugh, like our draft pick has fallen. I haven't actually checked to see the order of the draft, but it sucks. And you know what? They literally came out and that defense, props to the Carolina defense. Everybody in the NFC knows that Carolina has a fucking great defense. That they do. And they haven't traded any of those picks away, or of those guys away. And they literally refuse to. It came out today that somebody offered 2 first-round picks for Burns, and they basically were like, no. Burns is staying, Brown is staying, Moore is staying, Horn is staying. They believe those 4 guys are pivotal to their growth as a franchise going forward. And we all agree. I've agreed with that. My good friend Kyle, who's a Falcons fan, has agreed with that. Nicole, who's a Saints fan, has agreed with that. We haven't met a Carolina fan yet. Actually, I think we do know one, but they don't want to be on the show. I'm sorry. They understandably, maybe they wanted to be on today. But we know what you have there in Carolina. You got nice pieces all around. The Buccaneers, you got to understand that the more money that we keep pushing away, the more money that we have to keep pushing against the cap a year after and a year after and a year after. And we keep doing that down the road and down the road and down the road. You know what that means? We don't get to re-sign Devin White. Be happy that we got the contract extension on Vita Vea, but I haven't seen him. Devin White's one of those guys that we need to resign. Jamel Dean is the guy that we need to resign at the end of the year this year. Are we going to get him? What about Antoine Winfield here? Like Tristan Wirfs? Like the one seemingly saving grace on our offensive line? Those are like major players on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who need to be re-signed in the next 2 years. And we have pushed so much money down the cap for the next 4. What are we supposed to do? Keep asking Mike Evans to take pay cuts? Fuck no. Especially if we don't give him a quarterback that can throw him the ball. Not saying Tom Brady's not throwing the ball right now. I'm just saying after the season. This is hard. This is difficult. This is a very difficult position to be in. And if I'm an owner, again, like I've said before, if you're ever put in a position where you have to either trade the person out and you're never going to be the same ever again, or you keep them and you never get anything for them, you try to find some middle ground. Like what Detroit Red Wing fans are going through this year. What do you do with our captain? What do you do with Todd Bertuzzi? I say trade one of them and extend the other. Fan base is happy, just like that. Be no different with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't want to trade Devin White. I don't want to trade Antoine Winfield. I don't want to trade Tristan Wirfs, but there's going to have to be triggers pulled here eventually. And the first report that comes out that somebody's not happy and stuff like that, that's the first person that's probably on the chopping block. So what about it, Buccaneer fans? I here's the thing. Everybody knows I want to come into these shows and be as positive as I can. But I kind of got to, in a weird way, follow the trend that's going on here, but also at the same time voice my opinion of how displeased I am as well. There's a reason I stayed quiet. I wanted to keep it all bottled in until today. I was having fun with the kids. We also are having a bit of a memoriam for my fiance's grandma, who passed away a couple of months ago. It's about pushing a couple of months ago. Just because of COVID and everybody's time frame and stuff like that. And, Everybody just waited till today to have a little bit of a little dinner and stuff like that, a little gathering. So didn't really want to be on my phone too much. But also at the same time too, I knew I was going to be coming out here. I knew I was going to be talking this. I knew there was going to be Buccaneer fans that are like, all right, Fulbert, please just say it for us. I knew that there was other people out there who were going to be like, all right, Andrew, let's see what you got. Let's see how mad you are. And no, I agree. I am mad. But also at the same time too, in my kooky little mind, I think in a weird way, we still are going to make the playoffs, especially, no offense to the rest of the guys in our division, but if everybody keeps losing in our division, it's not going to be that hard to win the division at like 9-8, if that's what's going to happen. Costa's going to talk. Buddy, I still got 5 players left to play in the one there. Still catch you very easily. So, but I don't even know what the other league was. Probably a no money league where I don't care. So, but like, honestly, it's difficult. And again, in a weird, quirky way, it makes for my off season to be more fun. Everybody knows the secret, and there is no secret to Buccaneers social media. When we're winning, the shows that you see don't usually have views, because we're winning. It's okay. We won. Off to the next one. I know, Kyle. Don't you worry. But it's like on to the next one. Okay, we won another one. On to the next one. Oh, Brady had a pick. Let's talk about that for 30 minutes. On to the next one. When we lose, and we consistently lose, and we had Jameis Winston and Josh Freeman before that and everything else, and the Mike Shiano days, and even before that for the older folks back there who I know want to talk about, everybody else. Honestly, it makes for better content. That's the secret to being a Bucs fan out there, because everybody wants to come in and be, do we draft this person? And it goes, okay. Let's talk. Let me put that on the board. Let's talk about that for a bit. Let me say this properly. Peter Blake, Ray Kennedy, and myself used to do shows back in the day on a certain network that we're all not on anymore. And we used to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all the time. And the things that we used to talk about was who we going to draft, what kind of trade would we do? Then for a bit was Jameis Winston is the only quarterback we've ever had. Is this the answer going forward? Is this what we want to actually deal with? And then came the Tom Brady thing. And don't get me wrong, as soon as Tom Brady got signed, that was like talk for a whole half year. As soon as the Buccaneers start doing good in the regular season and start doing the run, conversation dies down. Then it just becomes local. Then a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans are the ones being like, yeah. And there's a lot of, fans around the world who are doing their own show. Like, yeah. But that laughing, those memes and stuff like that, they become quieter and quieter. And the people start popping off the shows because they don't like to make fun. They don't pop on shows that you can't make fun of the team because they're not sucking anymore. And we won our title. And I've said it before. Listen, everybody knows when we won the title. I gave it a day, and I even made a title or a status on social media. I was like, y'all get 24 hours before I start coming for receipts. I got a lot of laughing reactions, and a lot of people were like, oh, yeah, here he comes. And you're damn right, so I did come. That is going to be clipped as well. Holy crap. But we won. And then nobody wanted to talk about, all right, let's go talk about the next team. The Rams. Rams became the next hot topic. And I agree. But this is what's going to happen is when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers start faltering, they start becoming bad, and they start losing some of these players, that is when you are going to see everybody, all those Buccaneer fans start coming back. That's when you're going to see the flux again, where a lot of fans come in and they do what I've done. And listen, I there's no hiding it. I built NSD off mock drafts, fantasy football. Now it's built into something else. And man, I got some stuff happening behind the scenes. Don't you all worry about that. We'll be talking about that in a few weeks here. But we've expanded a little bit and we do a little bit more. But if you don't think that I love doing mock drafts, and if you don't think that I got all those players right there that I deal with and I talk about, and I'm trying to figure out who's going to go where. Like, for example, I love Hendon Hooker. And 2 weeks ago, everybody was like, he's got to prove himself. Think he did. I think he did. I think Tennessee's showing out, haven't they? Will Levis is still not doing too bad. He looks like he's going to be a good project for somebody. Sam Hartman out there. Devin Leary, Tanner McKee. Like, these guys are still going to be good projects. I'm still not sold on Bryce Young. I know a lot of people are still sold on, say, CJ Stroud. I'm like, okay. All right. But this is going to be an interesting draft. Of course I'm interested in this. All the way up until the very last minute with this draft, I am going to be making sure that I can find out who is getting drafted into the top 10. Because you can follow, like, the fact that you can follow Vegas now, and they can kind of tell you, because they know, they got insiders and shit. Start following that a couple of days beforehand. You start following the drops. That's when you'll know. So you keep it locked here at NSD in the offseason. Like, I don't just do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why do you think when me and Alex were doing this, Alex and I, the Lions, that's what happens. You get this great content out of teams who are not doing that great. And I hate to poke fun at Alex. I really do. But that's what happens. Is you get bad teams and it makes for great content. So the Buccaneers right now are 3-4. This is the first time they've been under 500 like this in quite a long time. A lot of people do not know what to do. They've said hit the panic button, start trading all the first round picks that we got, start trading everything that we got, and I disagree. I'm stuck on if it's Todd Bowles. I'm stuck on it's Byron Leftwich. I'm stuck on if it's the whole outside perspective. I don't know. I do not know what to call this. This is really, really, really something here. Couple of comments I saw here. Embarrassing last 5 games, even the Atlanta game, I agree. Falcons are up. Might be the vision this year. You never know. Unbelievable. Miami scored a TD on their first drive against Pittsburgh. Interesting. We have a lot of talent. We don't play with the fire and passion. We play like we expect to win, but aren't doing what it takes. Where's the desire to play with our hearts out? I agree. Can we also talk about fantasy? Loyal to the soil. You are a good fan. I will literally always diehard Buccaneer fan. Like, I've had people be like, how are you Tampa Bay and then Detroit and then like St. Louis for your baseball team and then you go to Oklahoma for your basketball team? I'm like, listen, my basketball team, first of all, is going to be changing as soon as Seattle comes back, and that's there. But like, there's a few other hockey teams that I enjoy. Like, I like the Kraken because they are in Seattle. I've said before that if I can live in Seattle, I would. It would be cool because of the content that I would be able to create in a weird way, even though I have a hard time making content with some of the people on the East Coast already. It would just be a lot harder now because I'd be like 3 hours away, 3-hour time difference. So, but yeah, I like a few teams, but my basketball is all dedicated to Seattle. So if that started happening, I'd probably, I'll stay a little through and good and the bad. That's what makes you a true fan, except the Elks the last 2 years. Hey, man, my Riders, too. I even said I'd probably hop ship on the Riders here pretty soon. I'm hopping ship off the CFL in general. Division needs some work. I look forward to November. I agree. Hammy Jammy's back. Says, relax, my sexy Andrew. Thank you for tuning in. Alex Schomber also thank you for tuning in. Says, you, Alex, and Johnny called the Eagles having a good season in the offseason. Yes, but then here's the problem, Alec. I went and changed that up when I did my predictions because I thought maybe a couple of different things would happen. I thought maybe a couple of those teams that were good that we thought, I thought the Eagles were going to fall down to like 7-10. And boy, was I wrong, man. Man, I was so wrong about that. But that's just the thing is I said it in the offseason, but then when I lock it in, it means I'm wrong. That's what I do at NSD. I still got the full thing. Though I did say Minnesota was going to be making the playoffs, though I did call them in as saying they would go in as a under 500 team. So I doubt that's going to happen. They're pretty dominant, but I think I got that right. The whole Denver not making the playoffs thing, I was the one that took the shot at that, and everyone's like, "Oh no, I am not going to put money into that." I'm like, "Ha, fuckers." So I got that one kind of going. And there was, I'd have to go back and see. I think David Montgomery was another big one, but his injuries are starting to kind of falter that a little bit. So fantasy football wise, though, I'm 50-50 with everything I've said. Even in betting, I find I've been 50-50 basically the whole entire year. Like today's been bad. I'm 1 out of 5 right now. Waiting to see if George Pickens gets over 42.5 yards in this game, which I'll be checking out in about 10 minutes time. It's 50-50 all year. And you know what? As a Buccaneers fan, if they start doing better, I feel as though my betting would be better. My picks in fantasy would be better. I just made a trade with Alex today. He wanted Swift. I know Swift has been injured. And I'm like, listen, I can't have a couple more weeks with him injured. I know he's going to come back and start making points, but I need points right now. And I also needed a quarterback because we're a super flex league. And Ryan Tannehill has been consistently only getting me 5 points. I can't have it. So, yeah. I had to start doing stuff that I'm not been happy about. Anthony Handy also says, what's up, man? Hang in there. Listen, if you've been enjoying watching me cry about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight, toss me a reaction, like a heart. Laugh at this if you want to. That would actually probably make this a little bit better for the thumbnail that I'm trying to make. But give me a like, give me a share, give me a follow, subscribe on YouTube. We've actually jumped up in the subscriptions in the last 3 weeks a lot. And when I mean a lot, listen, this show isn't that big. Everybody knows that. This show is still small time. We're getting there. Okay. We're slowly climbing just like everybody else is. We're climbing that ladder. We're getting there. Nicole's down there. I see you. I know you subscribe and stuff like that. I appreciate you. When you subscribe and stuff like that. And also, like I said, if you subscribed and you have your personal settings set where it doesn't necessarily show all the notifications and you still want to have your name in for the draw at the end of the season, where we have the Mike Allstat signed mini helmet. We have the Mike Allstat cracked ice card. We also got the 2 rookie cards in the J.K. Dobbins and the Van Jefferson canvas. And we also have the signed Minnesota Vikings Gabe Neighbors jersey. All those are ready to be given away at the end of the year show. We're also doing, so check us out. This is going to be the first time I'm actually going to bring this out. For all the people out there, drum roll, please. The end of the year for like New Year's Eve and stuff like that. Maybe not New Year's Eve, but around there. We're actually going to be doing an award show. So NSD is got obviously a lot of partnerships and a lot of people out there who deserve a lot of recognition. And what we are going to do here at NSD is we're going to put on a bit of an award show. We're going to have certain categories where people will be able to vote through coming around November, December-ish. I'm going to find a proper platform and a proper way to do it so that not only I can see it, but people can see, not maybe say who's voted for them. Maybe we'll see if that happens. If they want to give confiscated. No, what's the hidden? There we go. If you want to hide the vote, we'll see what's going on. But I want to give shout outs, obviously, to certain people out there, certain platforms, certain hosts, certain segments that people have made, certain jokes people have made, funny moments. I want to clip all this. I literally just got some video editing software that I can finally do video editing again. And I got a big, there it is. Finally found that hair. If y'all been seeing me do this, it's just been tickling my nose. Finally got it. We're going to do some stuff at the end of the year. The end of the year giveaway show is obviously at the end of the football season. So that'll be obviously around in like January, February, probably February towards the end of it. Then we're going to have the big draft show with Let's Talk Football into April to prepare ourselves for the next year's draft that we're all actually going to be attending. So we got 3 big shows that are definitely coming down the pipe here in the next few months. Y'all need to prepare for that. We're probably going to have a Christmas show. I'm probably going to make sure everybody gets, what are those things called? The ugly Christmas sweaters of something. We'll have bets going on here soon enough, so I'm sure somebody will try to make me wear a Saints one. It's not going to happen, Nicole. That Giants and Jets spread was free money. I agree. I agree, except for I took the Giants over 38. Man, I should have. I got tempted at the beginning of the season, and I've been doing good with them, and now I'm just like, so I have to start studying just a little bit more on my over and unders there. Bad week this week. If anybody actually started betting with me with our new Bet Stamp sponsor, it's a good thing they've got me under contract for a couple of months so that I can get this, I can get this flowing for you. So, yeah, that's a couple of things that's going to be happening. Awards show, end of the year show, draft show, probably a Christmas show. All those different type of shows are going to be coming down the pipe, featuring many different platforms out there, including Let's Talk Football, 1252 Chicago Sports, Peter Blake and his platform there. I'm forgetting, I think it's Amped Up Sports, Ray Kennedy's platform. Like, we're just going to reach out to everybody. Everybody that you guys are a big fan of, we're going to be having them on the show one way or another. Yeah, just making content for you guys. This is something that I like to do. Everybody likes to sit around on the weekends, especially when up here in Canada, it's starting to snow. It's going to be starting to snow here. At least the weather is getting there. And a lot of us are just going to be chilling indoors anyway, and we're just going to be talking to everybody like this anyway. So I think this is the way that we are going to stay connected and start showing some appreciation towards the end of the year. And that'll also be a good way for me to distress, because I'm really not enjoying myself this year, guys. Like, my last thoughts on this as a Buccaneer fan, I'm really not enjoying myself. I am not enjoying myself as a Buccaneer fan. I am enjoying watching some of these rookies. I am enjoying watching Cade Otton. I am watching Rashad White. I am enjoying watching the edges that we've drafted in Cameron Hall. I guess he's more of a defensive lineman, but and Joe Tryon. I am happy and excited to watch the development of some of these guys that we are going to have here for quite a long time. I am not happy to see how much money we are going to have to basically defer against the cap and how many players we are going to have to let go or trade because we are not going to be able to resign. Like, really think about that in the next 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, as Buccaneer fans. If we do not win right now, because winning helps solve all this stuff. People take pay cuts, cap space becomes more available because of that, or people will push more money down. Like that. That's the kind of things that happen. Your owner starts doing those things that you really want to see. All right. Those are the kind of things that can happen when you start winning. But we are not. We have like the same record, I believe, as like the Seattle Seahawks. We have let the Carolina Panthers become a game out of first place. We are still tied with the Atlanta Falcons. I am not happy about it. Nobody should be happy about it. This is hard times, but just remember the good times. We still have won a championship. Okay? We, as Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, have still lived through, even if you excuse the 0-2 one, we have 2 championships. We got the one in my lifetime, in our lifetime, in the young lifetime. That's more than the Bills fans can say, the Vikings fans can say, the Falcon fans can say, the Panther fans can say. That's more than a lot of those other did I say Falcons? Falcons, yeah, okay. There's a lot of other teams that have not won championships and have been around for a very, very, very long time. Don't sweat it. This sucks, and we're going to be better, and we're going to find a way to win. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Maple Buc Show. We got a game coming up on Thursday that we need to prepare for against the Baltimore Ravens. I will be touching base about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and that game on the Friday night show, which will be featuring, obviously, some more guests. I dropped my pen. Now I'm upset. We will have more guests. It won't be the 4 Horsemen again. The 4 Horsemen are taking a break for a couple of weeks while we get some things set up in the background. which you guys will be able to see very, very soon. But instead, we are going to be hosting the guy who is hosting a lot of the content that we have here at NSD, and is a good, gracious friend who is also going to be coming along with us to NSD, to Detroit 2024. Mr. Sean Spencer will be joining. And then we got two other guests that we are going to be extending an invitation to see if they would like to come on and talk a little bit about their teams. So stay tuned to that. We're going to be having Buccaneer and Commander talk at least going on Friday. I'll be advertising it all over the page. If you haven't liked the page, like and follow the page. North Sports Dynasty, get all the content coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. The website should be back up here pretty damn soon too, for all you people who are watching right now. Again, remember to subscribe on YouTube for 5 entries into the draw. And if you have your private settings all set up and stuff like that, remember just to send me a message and let me know about that so I can put you onto that list for the giveaways at the end of the year, which there's going to be more giveaways. I promise you that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for being here tonight. It was not exactly the night that you wanted to see from your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it is what it is. We'll be back again next weekend, basically on Friday, to talk about what happens against the Baltimore Ravens. That's a game that we got to win. We can't be going 3-5 and expecting us to be making the playoffs or at least doing any damage going forward. Much love from up here north. We'll talk to you again next Friday. Peace.